Mm, 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 mm. Great morning, great morning, great morning, great people. Happy Friday, y'all. Didn't I? I did. Child, I was calling yesterday, Friday, and Friday wasn't even here yet. Great morning. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you're feeling good. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to this morning's message, Road Revelations. I hope y'all are feeling good. Y'all, you know what to do, Booski. Come in, like the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance. I got a little bit to talk to y'all about this morning, because the Lord definitely gave me a word. Part of it is kind of going to go back to something that happened yesterday, something we talked about on yesterday as well. Did I say that? Y'all, like the live, share the love. Drop some in the chat that you're grateful for. Let's get in the flow of abundance. Or let's do it. Let's get to it. Let me go ahead and get started because we're not here for a long time this morning. Great morning, Aisha. Great morning, honey. Thank you so much for your continued support. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for liking the live, sharing the live, sharing the love. Let's get started, y'all, because I got quite a bit that the Lord showed me this morning to talk about for this message. So all to do it. So first things first, I have a lot of notes this morning, so I'm going to do notes first, and then we'll see if we need to pull some cards after that. So let's start here. So the first thing God gave me this morning was when God removes, he replaces. When God removes, he replaces. Okay. So let me tell you how this came about. Just randomly on TikTok this morning, and I saw a comment. Shout out. I had to write it down so I don't forget. And I'm sure they're not on the lives. They just happened to see a message that I posted. I don't even remember which one. I think it was the Psalm 121 message. So you can go look at that. But shout out to VR Graphics Design Studio. VR Graphics Design Studio, who gave me they made a comment, and the Lord gave me a whole word after I responded to this comment. And so first things first, y'all, many of you, the Lord is getting ready to remove so that he can replace. So he started talking to me about things that a lot of times we'll look at something that's taking an L, right? We'll look at if someone leaves, or we have to separate, or a breakup, or losing a job, or just something like that. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks that are talking about, people in corporate getting laid off. And even this morning, there was something about, and I hadn't researched this or studied it, so I'm not completely familiar with it, but there was a woman talking about different degrees that they're no longer going to consider professional, some of them being nurse practitioners and CRNPs and things like that, which of course is my field. And so the Lord started talking to me about removing so that he can replace. And so for many of you, part of what is happening now, there may be friendships and people that the Lord is removing in your life, and it's because he's getting ready to replace it with something better. Oftentimes it's when we immediately lose something. Let's say you lose a job, or for me, let's say you lose an apartment or a place to stay. What I have realized is that when the Lord, it's the Lord requiring us to change. Come on, God, it's the Lord requiring us to change. It's the Lord requiring transformation. He wants to give us something better. But we get so stuck in the comfort of having that one thing that we think is our anchor, that we think is our rock, that we think is the thing that we need and can't make it without. And the Lord will show you that if you will surrender and release this thing, I can give you something better, right? This is where, and there's a different scripture we're going to this morning, but it's me understanding. It's like when the Lord, let's say you're in your Job season and you've lost everything, and you're like, Lord, I can't believe, like I lost everything. I have nothing left. But then when the Lord, you go through that season of loss and lack, the Lord will give you even more on the other side of that. And so that's that part of the message. These are kind of going to be not all over the place, but they're just multiple things that the Lord gave me this morning in regards to this. So what is God trying to remove from your life to replace it with something better? The comment that VR Graphics Design Studio put on the post was saying that they had lost a big client, and I commented on it and said, that's just making room for something better to come in. That's just making room for an even bigger client. It's just making room for something even bigger to come in. So that's the first part of the message. Next. So yesterday, y'all, on the message, we talked about the number 444. And I kid you not, the number ended up showing up in my own life yesterday in the most random way, right? So we talked about yesterday unexpected blessings and harvest, and the Lord blessing us exceedingly and abundantly and above all we can ask, think, hope, dream, wish, or imagine. So yesterday the Lord gave me the number 444. So fast forward to work, right? We get to work and our jobs, my job gave us bonuses yesterday, y'all. We got a bonus. And so on the card, the actual physical card, the number to access the money in the card was 4444. I can't make it up. I wish I could show it to y'all. The number, I'm not going to show y'all the whole card, but just so you can see, like, this literally showed up in my life yesterday as a result of the Lord giving me that number. Let me see if I can find it so I can show y'all. Okay. So if y'all can see that, the access code was literally 4444, and that showed up in my life. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh. But that speaks to alignment, and when you're really on God's frequency, which I talked about yesterday. So this morning, I felt led to look up the number 4444, and it means King of Wealth. It also means a tower or a castle. So some of you, the first thing the Lord told me was you're getting ready to receive some unexpected income, some unexpected blessings. And blessings are not always financial, but sometimes they are. Yes, I received a financial blessing yesterday, but I also received lunch yesterday, right? Someone bought lunch for me yesterday. So it's like being grateful for the little things, and I talked about gratitude. I think yesterday, y'all know gratitude is the cheat code. And so yesterday was just a day where it just seemed like the blessings were coming in. So the Lord was speaking to me about that this morning. And it's like, yes, he will do unexpected things. He will give you, I didn't ask for lunch, but someone offered to buy me lunch. And so as a way for me to show my gratitude, I pay it forward. Okay, you get lunch today, I get tea this morning, right? So it's like these types of things where the Lord, again, come on, God. And this is then going into the next message that he was talking about. Some of you, the reason that the Lord is getting ready to remove people from your life is because he's getting ready to replace them with someone, with better people. And so as a result of the number 444, y'all just stay tracking with me. It took me to the book of Mark 12, which we'll get to in a second. But he also was talking about a tower moment, unexpected blessings. And then he ended up leading me from there to hidden enemies. I don't know. Don't ask me how. Oh, yes, I do. How did I get there, y'all? Because the card I pulled for myself this morning was the 5 of Wands. And the moon card is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Oh my gosh. And then y'all, let me just show y'all. Let me just pull the deck up here so y'all see. And then up under that is Gullah Jack, or this is the Hanged Man. Crazy thing. I didn't know this was up under the moon card. But the Lord said hidden enemies. And then he said Pisces. And then 12th house. 12th house, if you're familiar with birth charts, 12th house is the house of hidden enemies. So for some of you, the Lord is getting ready to remove people out of your life. He said this morning, let me go over here. He said this morning, like some of you, there are people, come on, Lord, there are people he's getting ready to remove out of your life. Secret competition. Okay. Good morning, Ramada. Good morning, honey. Secret competition. So for some of you, there are people, they really don't want to see you be great. And I don't like to spend a whole lot of time talking about other people because I like to focus on us and the blessing, what the Lord is doing for us. But the Lord, and he also mentioned, come on, God, the new moon, the Scorpio new moon, which happened yesterday. Today's the 21st. So the new moon was yesterday. And so he's showing us things, y'all. Scorpio season is a time of revelation. It is a time where old things, of course, and we're in retrograde energy. So old things may be surfacing, new people, like just emotions you need to deal with. This is like when Scorpio season is a lot of times when you really do the deep work on self, but it's also a time of revelation. Come on, road revelations. It's also a time of revelation where you can't continue to ignore the things that the Lord is showing you. Okay. So for some of you, yes, the Lord is showing you people who really are not on your side. This is hidden feelings, hidden emotions, people who are secretly in competition with you. He's highlighting people because more often than not, that's the thing that we can know someone is not good for us. We can know that, someone doesn't necessarily have our best intentions at heart. But it can oftentimes be the hardest thing to let go of, because it could be someone who you thought was your ace boon coon, you know what I'm saying, your ride or die. But the Lord is showing you the things, and he's revealing the things to you that will keep you from your new beginnings, your transformation, your opportunities, because this is a very powerful opportunity for change, right? This is a very powerful opportunity for change. So whoever needs that part of the message, he wanted me to highlight it. This is the moon card, of course, being a card of intuition. So you got to trust yourself. You got to trust that there are people who are just not ready to go where the Lord is taking you. And a lot of times we'll be trying to hold somebody's hand and drag them along with us. All the while, they're the ones who are holding us back, because it's like they got their feet planted. Come on, God. It's like they got their feet planted. And it's like, no, not Kevin Hart. Not Kevin Hart, y'all. It's like, no. Y'all foolish this morning. We on that this morning. Anyway, I'm back. So it's like they got their feet planted. And but you steady trying to pull them, baby. They not ready to go. Let their hand go. Drop that in the chat. Let their hand go. You can't keep trying to drag folks to somewhere they not ready to be anyway, because they haven't done the work. Okay, they haven't done the work, and so some people just can't. They can't go with you, and that's one of the hardest things to deal with, is knowing that sometimes people ain't ready, child. They're not ready to go where the Lord's trying to take you. Next, so the second part of this, people, jobs, mindsets, a tower moment. Some of you, there may be something unexpected. Let's get to the next part of the message, okay? So the Lord took me to the book of Mark this morning, Mark 12, as a result of the number 4444. So first things first, can we just say, I'm drop this in the chat, I'm protected. So in Mark 12, 1 through 12 is what he gave me. It talks about, it's the parable of the vineyard owner. And so many of you, the Lord is getting ready to send you out into something new. He's getting ready to send you out to shepherd, or a new job, a new opportunity. So the first thing he wanted me to point out as I was reading this, he gave me so much revelation in this, y'all. And that's the way the Bible is. I'm not here to try to beat you over the head with the Bible, but I tell you what, if you want some answers, he will give them to you, right? And just because me and you read the same scripture, I may not get the same thing that you get, because my experiences, come on, God, I'm seeing through different eyes. I'm seeing through different experiences. And so this is why it's important for you to read the word and know the word for yourself, because the Lord will give you what you need. But I'm going to share what he gave me this morning. So first things first, he's putting a wall of protection around you. Remember this, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, that the Lord, that happens to us that the Lord does not allow. I don't care what it is. God already knows what he's allowing, how he's allowing the enemy to come up against you. What I have come to understand is it's simply a test to see how are you going to respond to what the Lord is allowing you to experience. Are you going to spiral out of control? Are you going to break down? There are times when I can remember the smallest thing would send me, right? I'm gone. Good morning, Amy. I'll be beating spazzed out because of, oh my gosh, the world is crumbling. Whereas now stuff happen and I'll be like, oh, okay, well, it's good. And that goes back to the comment that I saw this morning, where it's just like, man, they lost a big client, but I feel like anything that the Lord removes, he tells us to release it so he can replace it with something better. So as the Lord is getting ready to send you into this new season, you have to know that you are protected, right? Because even in the parable of the vineyard, when he planted this vineyard, he put a wall around it, and he dug a pit for the wine press and built a tower. So these are all forms of protection, right? These are all things that the Lord did to protect his vineyard. Come on, God, to protect his vineyard. And so he built it. He built a pit around it for the wine press, people falling into the pit. He built the tower so that you could see from high up, right? So you can be on the tower looking out and seeing what's happening. So that's the first part that he wanted me to share. And there was so much more, but I'm going to try to just give the highlights of what he gave me. Protected. Okay. Next. When the harvest season came, he sent a servant to the tenants in order to collect from them some of the fruit of the vineyard. Come on, fruit. This is a time of producing, y'all. If you have been in a barren season, you have to understand, and the Lord told me that this morning, it's not always an overflow season, but there's always overflow. Does that make sense? There are seasons where you may be barren, or you may feel like you're barren, or you're not producing, or you're not seeing the results, but it's always a setup for the harvest season, y'all. Just like in Mark 12, the harvest always comes. It just doesn't come in the time that we want it to come. If you think of it in terms of planting seeds, y'all, there's not a single person on earth that plant the seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow. You still have to cultivate, nurture, water, keep it prepared, keep the soil moist. You have to continue to do those things. So the harvest always comes. So we've been speaking about abundance. We've been speaking about, things that are getting ready to come in for you, because it truly is your harvest season. And so, but think it not strange that there are ebbs and flows with abundance, y'all. You're not always up. Sometimes you're up and then you may plateau and then you go up again. I'm thinking, I can't even remember, there was a sermon or something that I heard Tyler Perry, shout out Tyler Perry. There was something I heard him saying or preaching one time, because yes, he is a minister, a pastor in his own way, right? All of us who use our gifts in some way are meant to minister, whether with your gifts, your talents, your skills, your abilities. Story for another day. But he was saying, and I can't remember exactly what the wording was, but he was like, you pray, you worship, and you move up, something to that effect. I don't even remember, but I don't even know what but that might be significant for somebody. Anyway, all of that to say that there are times when you're going to go up, then you'll plateau. And then the way to get to the next elevation is you praise, you worship, and then you grow. You pray, you worship, and you grow. And you just keep repeating that cycle, y'all. So just know that like blessings do come in waves. You may feel like, man, it's almost like the faucet being turned on and off. It's not a constant flow of blessings, but that doesn't mean that you get out of the flow. Does that make sense? Lord, I hope that helps somebody. What's next, Lord? So that was the first thing that the Lord wanted me to talk about on there. The next part, and I'm hearing this now, but I didn't go and look at this. A prophet is never respected in his own hometown. That is a scripture. It may be, I don't know where it's at, but it may be John. Let me look and see. Some of y'all, this is about understanding that you don't be going and thinking that your people name gonna be the ones that purchase from you, buy from you. I talked about this yesterday. Let me look it up. Yes, it is John 4:44. So that is also coming through on the number 444, okay, or 4444. John 4:44. For Jesus himself declared that a prophet has no honor in his own country. And he's bringing this up because in this parable, the Lord kept sending prophets, because that's who he's referring to, right? As the people, the tenant farmers that he sent out. He sent the prophets, then he sent Jesus. And so for some of you, what the Lord started showing me on this is there's no time to focus on who's coming up against you or who doesn't like you. Baby, we ain't got time. And some of you, the reason the Lord is pointing this out, we don't have time to be focused on how a hater or the enemy, because thank you, Lord. The enemy wants you to focus on him instead of keeping your eyes on God. Does that make sense? If you focused on the hate, the negativity, if you're focused on who's coming up against you, if you're focused on that more than your purpose, more than, who doesn't like you more than, focusing on what you're supposed to be doing, then the enemy is winning. Does that make sense? Because he wants you to be focused on the negative instead of the positive. The Lord's not telling you to focus on that, so don't focus on it. Don't focus on who's in competition with you. Who cares? Let your haters be your motivators. I have been there. I have been in a place where I was so focused on, he wants you distracted. He wants you to be focused on, who's coming up against you, who's talking about you, gossiping. I saw a reel yesterday that was literally talking about, how warfare changes, right? For some, man, this is a lot. I hope this is tracking for somebody, because I know it's a lot that the Lord has given me, but it's like the reel was talking about how warfare changes. Many of you, after being in a season of isolation where the Lord will have you by yourself, he'll then put you into places and spaces with new people, right? And so it's like understanding that the warfare that you were experiencing in your isolation season is going to change. Now, look, I just looked down and saw this card, y'all, the Justice card. But anyway, I'm going to put it back. That's David and Goliath. Come on, Lord. Some of y'all finna defeat a giant. Like, anyway, let me, I'm tracking. Y'all still, anyway, so it's like understanding that there are different types of warfare. You may not even look at it as warfare, because I didn't think anything about it until I saw this. You realize like gossiping is warfare. And what this particular person was talking about was how you're either going to remove yourself from it or you're going to conform to it. Does that make sense? Like, you don't separate yourself from the gossiping, separate yourself from the people who, it's like I don't know, how do I explain that, y'all? It's like, don't get drawn into that, because you may not even realize that you're trying to, like, the enemy is trying to use that to get you to conform in some way. I hope that makes sense. So, but again, this is all a distraction from purpose. It's all a distraction from the light. Anyway, let's pull a couple cards. Let me see what else. There's no time to focus on who's against you. Okay, your enemies can't stop your inheritance. That's the next thing the Lord said. And this is, of course, in regards to Jesus, right? Because Jesus is the inheritance, the true inheritance that we receive. And so your enemies can't stop you as long as you continue to follow God's guidance and keep your eyes upon the Lord. This is why this is so important for us, y'all. It's like keeping your eyes focused on him instead of keeping your eyes focused on them. It's like you have to be set apart. Come on, God. It's like he's setting you apart. So for some of you, this is why the separation is happening as well. Now I'm going to look down. Come on, y'all, they be meaning it in their spirituals. I wish I could show y'all all the things and all the ways that your spirit team be coming up and letting you know that they're surrounding you. And this is why you don't have to worry about this. Not let y'all handle the riffraff. Not the riffraff. I don't know how y'all spirit beings talk to y'all, but baby, they be cutting up. Grandparents in the spirituals, right? And this is speaking to Psalm 91 and 11. So some of y'all, that might need to be a prayer, right? A prayer of protection, right? For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. He will lift you up in your hands lest you dash in there. They will lift you up in their hands lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon. You shall trample under feet. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Okay, so some of you, you're being delivered from the traps, the tricks, the schemes, the deceptions, and the deceits of the enemy. Okay, heavenly guardians, angel, spirit guides, protected from harm. Didn't I start off talking about you're protected? Some of you start praying Psalms 91. I do when I feel called, like this morning. Come on, God. Listen, I hope this is tracking. when I get cards that are cards of opposition, when I pull a card for myself, y'all, the Lord, this is somebody letting you know, this is a setup for some of you to let you know there's some way that the enemy is going to try to come up. I'm not prophesying this into your life. I'm simply telling you to be prepared. Whenever I get Psalm 91 in any type of way in the morning, if it's a 5 of wands, it's like, okay, what's going to come up against me this morning, Lord? It's like the Lord will truly prepare you and make you ready. Hence this message this morning, because he wants you to be aware. The enemy wants us to be caught unaware. So the Lord will send, come on, God, the Lord will send his messengers. He will send people to give you a warning, right? Like he did the prophets, to warn you, like, hey, just want you to know you may get a little bit of friction, a little bit of tension, but it's simply trying to make you step out of your light. Okay, I hope that makes sense for somebody. So if you've been praying, if Psalms 91 is your prayer, and even if it's not, make it a part of your prayer routine. Okay, make it a part of your prayer routine. Let's get a couple cards and then we out this thing, because he's always going to protect us and make us aware of what we need to know before it happens. And then again, it's how you react to it. Okay, I do these messages. Come on with the confirmation, Lord. 3326 being my personal number, right? Come on, great fortune. Did I say unexpected wealth for somebody? Let me look at my notes. I did. Unexpected blessings, the king of wealth. Okay, that's the number 4444. Let me shuffle it and see what else. So for some of you, this may be, I be hating to say stuff sometimes, but I got to say what the Lord tell me to say. Be mindful, because there may be something that, something unexpected you have to pay for. Okay, so just know that, like me personally, I gotta buy a tire, y'all. Like I gotta go tomorrow and buy a tire. So it may be something like that. If you've been putting something off and you know you need to get done, get it done. Okay, don't procrastinate before it gets too bad. So gifts, wealth, I'm telling you, unexpected. Okay, the Lord is getting ready, but the Lord is like, it's already, so it's like the Lord doesn't want you to worry about it. Does that make sense? Anyway, let's get a message and we're going to be out this thing so I can get ready for work this morning. Just know that the Lord he will make sure that you are prepared and you are ready for whatever's going to come up against you. So last message, last part of this, God always has one more trick, and he ain't a trickster, but God always has one more trick up his sleeve, something better, okay? And no matter how many times the enemy comes up against you, God always wins. Drop that in the chat. God always wins. The victory is already ours, right? The victory is already ours. So just saying, child, me too, child. We got to go get this tire now. I had to put some air in my tire yesterday. I've been putting it off, but I'm going to have to go ahead and get this tire. God always wins. What y'all just said? Plot twist. God always wins, okay? He always wins. On to do it. Here we go. Privileged lady. Didn't we talk about privilege yesterday? This is Empress energy, the number 12, Pisces energy. Let me just show y'all so y'all know I'm not making it up. The Pisces, some of y'all, you could be a Pisces. You could have Pisces in your chart. Let me just show y'all that the Lord said Pisces, 12th house, number 12, 12 days. I don't know, but the Lord told me that this morning, so I'm just sharing that with somebody. I just was writing down everything that my spirituals told me. So there may be some, why? Oh, that's the hidden enemies. Because you got favor. Come on, 12. Because you got favor. And that's, 12 may be significant as well. Let me not look at the cards, y'all, so y'all don't think I'm cheating. I ain't cheating when I pull the cards. Because favor surrounds you like a shield. And that's why some people are mad at you, right? That's why some people are mad at you, because yes, you're very much blessed and highly favored. I have come farther than I would have ever thought possible, and I'm learning along the way. There's some people mad because you hadn't stopped growing and ain't gonna stop growing, because who finna stop? I wish you would. Stop growing for who? Babe, I ain't got time for that. People don't even understand how long it took me to get where I'm going, and I ain't even done traveling yet. You can come with me. I wish I would stop growing, glowing, elevating, and being positive. That works in your life, okay? So don't let somebody else, the road less traveled, don't let somebody else stop you from going where you trying to go because they not ready. Baby, get ready. Catch up or keep up. Anyway, who need that, child? Because somebody, it's almost like somebody mad because you keep growing and going and elevating. Child, look, because God said so. Anyway, I'm back. Better together. Okay, sponsorships, lucrative business partnerships, brand collaborations, angel investors. We receive it. Didn't I say? Did I talk about that? Some of you finna get, it's like better people coming into your life, y'all. Yes, there are some people who you getting ready to work with. You don't even know who watching you. Anyway, it's like you finna get some better people working with you, surrounded by some better people. You need that in order to, you have to, and this is, you got to surround yourself with people who want something for themselves, okay? Like, this is your spirit names coming through, like, listen, y'all, because y'all be having to bust us upside the head sometimes. Well, that's what it feels like. We be listening. Sometimes, uno momento, real quick, let me talk to y'all. Listen, because sometimes y'all don't be clear. We've been saying this for years, and I don't feel like y'all done gotten any straightening in the spirituals because y'all still don't be giving us everything. Why y'all can't just be direct? Why y'all can't just say this is the way? Well, no, we're not talking about big God. We talking about y'all. I feel like y'all could be a little bit more clear about it. I'm just speaking for the people. I was just telling. I feel like we in alignment. Cause y'all, cause child, cause just like I had to decipher all of these messages, you be having to follow the breadcrumbs. That's why we just be like, sometimes we just want, Lord, can you help us? We just want to just give us the answer, right? So yeah, some of you have some people, new collaborations, new partnerships, but it's requiring you to let go of some old people, right? 5:26, we finna go. You got to let go of some old people. Okay, 144, perception, discernment, and understanding. I feel like that's all I need to do. Because here's the thing. Here's the message. Some of you, there's favor that is surrounding you. People are seeing the blessings in your life. They are seeing that God has his hand upon you. Everything that you touch is blessed. Everything that you're doing is blessed. So the Lord is allowing you to see the truth about people. He's allowing you to see the truth about who's not really on your side. And I try to stay on the positive side, but sometimes the Lord will continue to give you the same message over and over until you get it. Because if you don't get this, come on, God, for some of y'all, if you don't get this, this is the thing that's keeping you from your next level. It's the thing that's keeping you from your elevation. Because you keep, and I don't care who you watch. I don't care if you watch tarot, if you listen to prophets, if you hear pastors, you're going to hear the same message over and over and over and over and over, because the Lord is trying to tell you, like, listen, you're not listening, but you keep praying to move into a new season and a new cycle. Again, Scorpio season is the hard work, y'all. It's the deep work. And so the Lord is like, you're not going to get a different message. You're not going to get a different answer. You're not going to get, you're not going to get what you want. God is going to give you what you need. Does that make sense? So Lord, I hope this helps somebody. The Lord is going to keep giving you what you need until you recognize, like, the answer is not going to change. This is what's holding you back. This is what's keeping you from moving into that next level. You can choose, right? It's your choice. The Lord is not going to force you to move and align yourself with new people. But you will be wondering, like, well, why am I not moving yet? Why is this not working yet? Because you're not surrounded. You're still surrounding yourself with people who ain't trying to go nowhere. Anyway, Lord, I hope this helps somebody. The gifts back at the bottom of the day. Anyway, child, look, why? Somebody light? Because your light is bright, because you're shining, because you're glowing, because the Lord, people know that you're going places, and the enemy is going to use those people to come up against you to try to keep you. Ain't no diminishing your light in this season now. We ain't got time for that. We spend a season in hermit mode. We spend a season. Many of you, this is the why the people, why the Lord will remove these people, y'all, because they want you to keep yourself small so that they can look big. We're all guilty of that. I have done it. I have diminished myself to make somebody else feel like they were bigger, but not in this season, baby. I am who I am. You like this light or love this light? I was finna cuss. You heard it in my spirituals. Anyway, I'm back. I don't care. I'm not diminishing myself anymore for anybody. And anyone who has a problem with that, they gonna have to have that on their own, honey. You can't keep hiding yourself, your light, your energy, your shine, who you are for the sake of somebody else's feelings. Child, a mess. We're not doing that. And if the thing about it is, even if you are for the sake of somebody else's feelings, child, a mess. We're not doing that. And if the thing about it is, even if you I'm going to use this example and then I'm going to go for real. Y'all, I got to change that alarm. Y'all remind me to do that. You know, I'm not going to say it. Never mind, I'm not going to say it. Just know this. You could have nothing, not Nathaniel. You could have nothing, and there will be people who still don't like you with nothing. And I'll use that example as evidenced by I ain't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I was homeless and living in a car, and the Lord still showed me that people had a problem with me. Do you understand? How you mad and I'm homeless? How you mad and I'm sleeping in a car? How you mad and I'm having to use a community shower? But this is just an understanding that it doesn't matter what you have materialistically. The enemy don't care about what you have materialistically. He cares about your light. He cares about your energy. He cares about your love for God. He cares about he worried about your compassion for people. He cares about your purpose because he don't want you to step into it. So think it not strange that the people who have less get hated on more. Why? Because the enemy knows, oh, they got something big to do. Some of y'all got something big to do, honey. You got to go do the thing. You got to go do it. You be amazed that people, you can have nothing and people will hate you all the same, but it ain't because you don't have nothing. They won't, yes, mad at the struggle, right? You could have nothing and people will dislike you simply because you're glowing, you're shining, simply because you're moving in alignment with God's will and purpose. They can't figure out why you still blessed. I don't care about witchcraft, hoodoo, voodoo. I don't care about none of that. Okay? I don't care about none of that. Why? Because the Lord's light shines in you, and that's what the enemy is trying to come up against. So that's why these people around you, these little slick comments and all that, baby, you got to pay attention to what people be saying and how people really be talking to you. Anyway, that's it. That's the message. Come on, Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Now the Lord now the Lord finna give them a reason to really hate on you. You gonna be up here shining the Queen of Wands energy, charismatic, vibrant, energetic. Your light shining. You gonna be now you finna have wealth, abundance, and luxury. What, child? Anyway, I'm not finna play with these folks this morning. I don't feel like it. Okay. Anyway, that's the message. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate because they done got on my nervous system. And some of y'all, that's how you feel. If somebody's just irritating your spirituals, like, you know who this is, baby. You know who this is. I don't know who this is in your life. Thank God for God that I don't feel like this. This is not my personal message, right? But you know, if this message resonated in your spirituals, then you know it's for you. You already know. So this is just a confirmation. So Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul and things. Drink your water. Say your gratitude. Have a fantastic and an amazing day in purpose on purpose. Let me just tell y'all, I ain't going to see y'all in the morning. I got one day off, and then I'm back for 6 more days. So somebody send me a plate. Y'all going to cook Thanksgiving? Somebody bring me some food to work. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Y'all go be great and amazing. Do great and amazing things. Let me go get ready for work this morning. I'm going to try to stick with it, y'all. Let me just tell y'all, I'm going to try to stick with it. I'm going to try to stick with giving these messages in the morning. Quick 30 minutes to motivate us and get us a word from the Lord before we start our day. So I'm going to try to stick with it at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. Turn your notifications on so you're notified anytime I go live or post a video. I will see y'all on Monday morning, 5 a.m. Okay, I love y'all in real life. I'll see y'all later. Go be great and amazing. Do great and amazing things.